Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're installing our Corsa long tube headers in our 2019 Dodge Charger. This should work from like 2015 and up. We have the 6.4 liter, but I think they're pretty much the same. And we're out at Chester County Transmissions. We're gonna do a quick unboxing of everything and then we're gonna install these things. We'll give you a full-blown tutorial and any tips and tricks along the way. Because that's what we do on Beast Projects. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
We got a lot of Corsa goodies here going into Charger today.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Pete and I did an awesome tutorial on how to remove the stock manifold, so let's see what we're going to be putting in its place.
Oh, what do you got there?
That's what did it.
Oh, that's the tool?
Yep.
Magic tool?
Don't
Magic
you,
stick?
don't you have one of these?
I do. That's a quarter long, it's not quite that long, but I have a 1/4 inch drive, yeah.
I know that, but I couldn't. I looked in your box.
I think it's just laying aimlessly in the top drawer. You guys sick of my mask? Look at this. Here at CCT, we are Corona ready.
Corona ready.
Corona ready. All right.
All right, let's check out all the good stuff. This is what the viewers want to see right here.
That's it. All right, let's see. Do we have we need a resort.
A razor.
Yeah. Pete, grab a resort. Wow, this is an impressive pipe. And that's not what she said.
Oh man, look at that.
Yeah. So let's get it all out of the box first. And then we'll there we go.
Nice.
Look at that bad boy. Yeah, Corsa does a really good job packing their stuff.
Yeah, it really is wrapped up really well.
Yeah, Corsa stamped into it.
Look at that.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
Wow. That is impressive.
that is very, very nice.
Yes, it is.
Look at that collection. What do you think, Pete?
Putting an eagle eye on her.
Oh, I'm just trying to see what it's going to look like once it's in there. The
Yeah,
likelihood of me getting
through there. All the airflow.
Yeah, man.
Pretty sweet.
Definitely gonna breathe much better with these bad boys. Yes.
Gotta love it.
You excited? You gotta be pumped, Andy. You're jumping them
I
down.
can't wait. I can't wait.
I mean, you see that? You see that little triangle or the little pyramid in there?
It's a little dark, but yeah, yeah.
That's serious.
Yeah, that's massive.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Wow.
You can see a little bit better on Andy's.
Yeah.
The light.
Wow. That is serious.
impressive.
Yeah, man. Assuming this is going to be our attaching hardware and gaskets, I would imagine, right?
Gaskets, hardware. Oh yeah.
Hey, there you go.
O2 sensor extensions. Corsa.
Very nice.
Very cool.
Yep. Multi-plate. Up 5 horsepower sticker.
Yep. That's definitely going to give us a gain. I already got a big Corsa sticker on the back. We might have to leave this one for the shop.
So I'm assuming these are extensions for the oxygen sensors.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Nice hefty gaskets.
We're not done
Oh,
yet,
here.
though. We got another box over
Oh,
there,
that's
Andy.
right. There's some more stuff.
Yeah, we got another box
It is-
over here.
It's like Christmas in
Yeah.
not
What do you got,
July.
Pete?
Well, it's just informing us about how we're going to be setting this thing up for use on the track. Of course.
Oh, got you. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's definitely going to the track.
Just so you guys know, this is for off-road use, track use only.
Or if you drive less than 5,000 miles a
Or
year.
if you drive less than
Yes.
5,000. Right. Oh, some adapters.
Our mid pipes,
Yeah.
clamps,
And harness extensions.
some more harness extensions
Yeah.
for our two sensors.
Yep.
Look at that. Very cool.
Beautiful welds.
Yeah, they
So
do.
nice.
They do.
Really, really nice.
awesome
I mean-
job.
What's that? That's impressive.
I really love Corsa's products, but all you guys already know. Like, I love their
Yeah,
stuff.
it's nice.
Yep. But yeah.
What is this set retail for, Steve?
This right here retails for 13 and some change for
Wow.
the header, for the headers and the mid pipes.
I think that's a great price.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
if you told me over 2, I'd believe it. I mean, that's impressive.
Yep.
Wow.
It's definitely quality stuff. It is built right here in the U.S.
That's
Good
right.
old U.S. of A.
America.
America, Pete.
America.
We're getting ready to jump into the installation. Step 1, Pete's gonna prep 8 of the new manifold, well actually header bolts.
I'm gonna do them one at a time.
All right, he's gonna do one at a time.
Yeah.
Dab a little bit of anti-seize on the end, and then we're gonna get it started into the cylinder head. Now he's just gonna continue that process one by one and finish installing the 4 lower header bolts first. Putting the last one in now, getting it started. He's gonna lift the passenger side Corsa header onto the 4 bottom bolts that we previously started. Start the rest of the header bolts, which is a fun time. As you saw, if you saw the previous video, how we removed it, it was good times. And then we're gonna tighten them down to 20 foot-pounds. There you go.
Straightforward enough.
Yeah. He's just gonna start the other ones. It might help a little bit. Not really gonna film any of that. Definitely looks good though, guys. Look at that. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Something worth mentioning, guys. We got a majority of the header bolts in, except for, this is the 3rd one from the front. We actually had to come above to start that one. We might be able to tighten it up from below. We just couldn't get it started from below.
This one's already in.
Oh yeah, you already got that one in from the bottom, so that was pretty key. Maybe we'll get this one in from above too. Take your time. You're gonna need extensions. You're gonna need swivel attachments. I think we dropped this one at least 30 times. Right, Pete?
Are there marks on my chest?
We got them all started now, so now it's time to gradually tighten. You just gotta do it in a sequence so it's equally applying pressure to the flange. You gotta gradually tighten them all up.
We're gonna tighten them gradually from the middle out.
Pete just modified this torque wrench so we can get it down to 20 foot-pounds of torque. The instructions say approximately, but Pete's gonna get it down there. What'd you do to modify this thing?
It only had that much of an approach angle
Okay.
because there.
Oh, got you.
So now I can get on it.
So you shave down the edges a little bit.
Once I get the feel for what 20 foot-pounds is, I don't have to use this. I just want to make sure I'm in the ballpark, and then I can go good and tight.
Good and tight. All right.
Everything else.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know how the hell you'd be able to get a torque wrench on all those bolts. You'll notice that Pete's starting from the center out.
There it is.
That's 20 foot-pounds of torque right there, ladies and gents. We're just gonna continue the process on the rest of the header bolts. There's the click, guys. And right now, that's a majority of the header bolts torqued down. The other ones are good and tight because there's no way you can get a torque wrench in there. Next step, we're gonna reinstall the knock sensor on the passenger side of the block. And you're gonna use a 13 mil to reinstall the knock sensor. And if you saw the previous video, you saw us remove it. You're gonna plug your knock sensor back in, and then you're gonna put your heat wrap over top of it. There's a little clip in there, guys, and that little clip locks into the actual knock sensor. There's a little cutout. There you go.
That's it.
Now that you get your knock sensor reinstalled, you're gonna install the front O2 sensor. These are specific according to Corsa, so when you are doing your removal, as we mentioned in the removal video of the stock manifolds, we made sure, well, we didn't label them, but we put them in positions on the lift arms. As you can see, there's the rear, there's the front, and that's the passenger side. Made sure we knew which ones go where when we reinstall it. You can use a 22 millimeter box wrench to tighten that if you don't have the proper tool to tighten it. And it's really, just use a 22 millimeter wrench. It makes life easier. So of course, this kits come with the extension. You're gonna install your extension and plug it in.
There is a difference between these two because these don't have the little wings that slide into the grooves. You don't need to concern yourself with these. These are identical.
There you go. And then you're gonna plug in your O2 sensor extension cable back to this factory location. Oh, there it goes. Yep. It locked. You'll hear a click, guys. Make sure you hear that click, otherwise it might fall out. Now that the passenger side is completely done, we're gonna jump over to the driver's side. Again, there's stuff that we've done prior to this that you would benefit from watching the previous video where we did the complete removal. So you're gonna use your 15 mil to reinstall your starter. The exhaust manifold folds out now, so it's a little bit easier. You're gonna reconnect your wiring to your starter. You got your positive cable going to it, and then you also have a factory wiring harness that goes to the bottom. There it is. So you're gonna resecure that positive cable going to your starter, and you're gonna use that 13 millimeter nut that you took off. There's your knock sensor, there's where it's mounting to, and that will be all nice and underneath the heat shrinking now. And actually the heat shield, it's already got heat wrap on it. You're just gonna use the OEM hardware that you took off originally, that we did in the previous video, and it's a 13 mil bolt. Now, with the knock sensor reinstalled, plugged in, and nicely routed, it'll be underneath the heat shield, and we're gonna reinstall the heat shield now using the stock OEM hardware, which is an 8 millimeter bolt.
It'll be a lot easier going back on it. What's coming off?
Yeah, it was fun coming off. There's the 8 mil right there that he just started. Once you get that snug down, the 8 mil snug down, it might be easier to bend the actual heat shield a little bit and use your 13 millimeter to tighten up the two back nuts. We're gonna repeat the process like we did with the passenger side to the driver's side, because we're starting to install the Corsa headers now. The anti-seize on all the header bolts, just a tiny bit, and then it's gonna basically be the same process. So if we run into something where there's an issue or there's a tip we can give you, I will fill you in, we'll stop along the way, and we'll let you know. One thing to note, guys, Corsa actually tells you in their instructions to reconnect the hot terminal, well, cable to your starter in step 9. We did all that already because that would be very difficult to do once the header's up and the heat shield's on there again, just like the knock sensor. Pete's still working on those header bolts, and then I'm gonna reinstall our coil packs that we took out in the previous video to give us a little bit more access down here. Starting, it's coming together, guys, we're getting there. All the bolts are all torqued to 20 foot-pounds and good and tight. And now Pete's just reinstalling the check. We made our marks before in the previous video. If you guys, I said it multiple times throughout this video. If you didn't see that, make sure you watch that. It's the last video before this. I'll have the link in the video description. Put a little bit of blue Loctite on that 10 mil bolt. Our lines are lining up perfectly. We know where we took it out, so we're not gonna have any steering issues. He's gonna tighten that bad boy down. And look, who came to visit, finally.
Yeah, well, I got out of the office, yeah.
Next step, guys, we're gonna install the O2 sensor for the passenger side with the extension that Corsa provides.
I would have preferred to have plugged in that extension before I did the steering shaft.
Oh yeah, yeah, we should have. That's another tip, guys, there you go. You should plug in your extension for your O2 sensor to make it a little bit easier beforehand.
Well, it's just, now I gotta snake my hand and arm.
Yeah, it's tight up there, it's tight. Pete right now is just using the factory wire clip right there. You guys can see that, locking it in place, keeping it away from the headers. We're probably gonna tighten this up a little bit more once everything's installed. The next step, according to Corsa, is to install the belly pan. We're not gonna do that because it's not really necessary at this point. We're gonna start installing the mid pipes right here that connect to your X pipe.
The advantage to not installing this belly pan at this point is, post-install, once we run this vehicle, you're gonna wanna check for leaks. You want to check for leaks here, here, but obviously up here at the cylinder heads. And this is this is the vantage point that you're going to want to have. So having the belly pan out of the way at this point, it's just more pragmatic. I mean, for the sake of orderly steps, I could understand that suggestion, but in terms of, going over leaks and at the end, it makes sense to have it off.
That's why we're making this video, to make it easier for you if you do want to do this. If not, bring it to Chester County Transmissions. Pete said he would love to do some more. Right, Pete?
Oh, yeah.
As you can see, we're spreading our X pipe a little bit so we can get our mid connecting pipe installed. Make sure you install your donut to your collection pipes. And then this is your inlet connection pipe adapter that has your bung for your O2 sensor. You're gonna slide that bad boy on. And then you can connect your flange with the supplied hardware from Corsa. One thing Andy and I were just talking about.
You look at this is a very nice clean curve, and there's even like the subtlety. If you look right here, it has a nice little drop down, right, to accommodate the way it flows across the back of the vehicle, which is nice. It's a little, the small things like this, as stupid as it might look, and you think, oh, what big deal does that make? You make that straight, and then all of a sudden you have the exhaust. When you get back here, areas like this, where now all of a sudden the exhaust is up tight because it's not curved back there. Yeah, Pete, see me? You just corrected because I pushed up on it. What the hell?
Well, that's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I went like that. Well, I'm jamming it up there, which it will. It will end up closer, but yeah, you could definitely have weird vibrations and stuff, and you don't have little bends like that. It's nice.
But right now we're not really following the directions to an absolute T.
Little issues along the way that you have to adapt, modify, overcome, all that good stuff, right, Steve?
Yep. Pete, you should have just put this car up a little bit higher. We did take off these cross support braces when we removed the stock manifolds. So
The cats.
yeah, the cats. Well,
Because the pipe had to go down.
yeah, the pipe had to go down to get the stock mid-pipe cats out and the manifold. So we put the brace back in. It's not completely tightened down. We just wanted to have that in before we start to tighten up these connecting pipes, the mid connecting pipes to our Corsa headers. Adapter connected to the headers.
Side.
Yep. And just like we did with the driver's side, we're gonna use the supplied hardware from Corsa. It's 13 mil. Then we're gonna get this bad boy all tightened back up. Once we get it up tightened high enough, then we'll tighten those cross braces and then install our O2 sensors. We're gonna use a jack stand to actually push the whole exhaust system up before we tighten it. Let it raise. Going to repeat the process on the passenger side. So we're just tightening up the exhaust clamps to the connecting pipe. As you see, I broke one a while ago. So that one doesn't look like the other ones.
Yeah.
Corsa gives you the Torque style. I'll replace it at some point. The Corsa Torque style clamps, they are actually a 15 millimeter. Andy brought up, because, well, we're getting tired, Pete and I, 15 foot-pounds for the flange bolts. I'm just gonna go over them real quick. With all the exhaust clamps tightened, our flanges are all tightened. We're gonna reinstall and tighten down our cross braces. And the driver's side rear O2 sensor will use an extension. So there's 3 extensions for your O2 sensors. 2 extensions for your front, 1 for your driver's side rear. Put a little bit of anti-seize on all the O2 sensors before reinstalling. We're just gonna show you right now with the driver's side rear. You use a 22 millimeter
We have a
wrench.
special tool, but we're gonna
Yeah, we have the tool,
go ahead and do it.
as you saw earlier. Well, if you saw the removal of the stock manifolds, we use that tool, plug it in the extension for the driver's side O2 rear sensor. You'll hear it click when it's fully seated. Do some zip ties, zip tie them up out of the way.
I'm gonna use this. Secure it right there.
Oh, there you go. You don't even need a zip tie, guys. Actually, that little, we could probably put one right there. Right here. Yeah, we'll throw a zip tie right there, guys. But it fits in there very nicely. Moving on to the passenger side.
But it's got flavor.
You'll notice that it's actually clamped in there. The factory harness, you're gonna wanna pop that out to give you a little bit more length to plug this O2 sensor in on the passenger side rear.
I popped it out.
You're just gonna push that in there until you hear it click. Zip tie that guy up there. We got 2 zip ties supplied from Corsa, so we'll probably just zip tie it right there. The only thing left to do, guys, is to button up, reinstall the cold air intake, and a few other little odds and ends, and this install is complete. But for the main portion of the exhaust is done.
It's done.
I'm gonna do a full comprehensive review like I always do. I'm gonna show you what the car sounds like stock. I'm gonna show you how the car sounds like with the extreme Corsa exhaust. Then I'm gonna show you how the car sounds like with the Corsa headers. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be in the next video. I got you guys, I'm sorry, but trust me, it's gonna be worth the wait. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you found it informative, please give it a thumbs up. If you're stopping by for the first time, make sure you smash, tap, do something to that subscribe button. Make sure you check out Andy and Pete from Chester County Transmissions. I'll have their information in the video description below. All the things that we installed today and talked about, that will be in the description below as well. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next upload. You're gonna need all these tools right here.
I don't know about need, but this is what we used.
Yeah, well, this is what we used to complete the install right here.
And it made it better.
Made it better.
Made it better.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get by with less. Trade off some tools for a little more heartache.
I don't think so. I'm just putting it out there, guys. But yeah, I still think we have more than this. There's just tools all over the place right now. But there's dikes, yeah. Here we go.
Not enough.
Not enough. Now with that separated, we're not going to be able to install it. All right, now with that separated, we're going to install it.
The hell we are.
Oh, we are. It's basically to repeat the process like we did on the passenger side by installing by putting,
Driver's side.
yeah. We're gonna repeat the process like we did with the passenger side to the driver's side because we're starting to install the Corsa headers now. We're gonna put the anti-seize on all the head studs. Why do I keep saying head studs? We're gonna put the anti-seize on all of the bolts. Header bolts. We're gonna put the anti-seize on all the header bolts.